Today, we sabrage.
Whoa, Shanthan, should you be pointing that at the camera?
60% of the time, it works. All the time. 1, 2, 3.
Wait!
Welcome to Corks and Capital, decanting insights from investment leaders. I'm your host, Shanthan Pillay, and on the table, we've got Tiaan Herselman and Krone MCC. Tiaan, we rate our wines at 3 categories, coming to a final score of 20, and during the tasting, we'll talk about two-pot system. Let's kick off with clarity. So it's a lovely clear sparkle with light, delicate, consistent bubbles, which generally indicate the wine's undergone the traditional method. Bigger bubbles generally indicate the wine's been injected with CO2. I'd give this a 3 out of 3.
I'm with you. 3 out of 3. It's very clear. It's beautiful. It's great to look at. I hope it's good to drink as well.
Let's see. Now that we've cleared up the glass, can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Tiaan Herselman. I'm the head of advice and proposition at Old Mutual Wealth. I love all things financial planning. And for some reason, people have realized I've got a TikTok channel at Tiaan Finance also about
I'm
financial.
a follower.
Well, great. Yeah, it's kind of exploded, but I love all things financial planning. I love the Old Mutual Wealth proposition. And yeah, taking it out to financial planners, to clients, and to help them achieve their financial goals is basically a passion of mine. But yeah, been in the industry for 15 years and at Old Mutual Wealth for almost a decade. So just enjoying spreading the gospel about financial planning and our proposition.
Moving on to nose. When you swirl the wine and take in the aroma, you get crisp apple, a light brioche, and citrus notes. I'd give this a 6 out of 7.
I would almost give it I said almost 6.5, but I'm almost thinking a 7 out of 7 for it really makes me want to drink it when I smell it.
So there's a couple ways to make bubbles. The cheapest and easiest way is injecting the wine with CO2, like a soda. So you see this with Prosecco. The wine we're drinking now is a Méthode Classique, which is the South African champagne. Now this undergoes the traditional method, which is a 2 fermentation process. Step 1 converts the sugar into alcohol to create a still wine. In step 2, you bottle the still wine with a bit more sugar and yeast, and you rotate that every day. Now, in that second fermentation, it creates these fine, delicate, consistent bubbles that we've seen, but it's a lot more labor intensive. So these wines are a little bit more expensive, but worth it. So now that we have a basic understanding of how bubbles are made, can you give us a basic understanding of the two-pot?
So let's explain two-pot, utilizing some wine. Now, I've drawn a lot on whiteboard, so this is going to be a first for me. Now, let's assume this is a retirement annuity, this beautiful bottle of wine. Now, all of the old rules for two-pot in my retirement annuity, as at the 1st of September or the 31st of August, all of that stays in place. So if I have in my retirement annuity 500,000, nothing changes the two-pot system. All of those rules stay the same. But come 1 September, the first thing I now have are these new two pots. So old pot or first pot, old money, vested pot, nothing changes. Then I have 2 more pots. That's actually 3 pots in total. Now for these 2 pots, on 1 September, Treasury have said that we are going to give you a little bit of your old wine and turn it into some new wine into your savings pot. And that little bit there is 10% of whatever I have in this bottle on this retirement annuity, limited to 30,000. Minimum is 2,000. So before I make any contributions after 1 September, I already have potentially up to 30,000 in my savings pot. Now this first little pot I can take out once a tax year as long as there's more than 2,000 Rand in there. And then all of my contributions after 1 September, 1/3 will go into my savings pot and 2/3 will go into my decanter, in this case my retirement pot. And this I can only access at retirement, which is either the retirement age of the fund, or if it's a retirement annuity in my example, at the age of 55. So using my example to quickly recap, I had 500,000, 10% of that is 50,000, but that's limited to 30,000. That goes into my savings pot. If my contribution after 1 September is 3,000 Rand a month, 1,000 Rand will go into my beautiful wine glass savings pot. So that 1,000 plus my 30,000, I can access once a tax year, plus any growth on top of that. And then my 2,000 Rand of my 3,000 Rand contribution goes to my beautiful decanter or my retirement pot that I have to leave all the way up until retirement. So as long as there's more than 2,000 in this beautiful savings pot or wine glass, I can take that out once every tax year, as long as there's more than 2,000.
So is it correct to say bottle and decanter, forget about till you retire, glass once a year?
100%, yeah. So, but all the old rules in this bottle still stay the same, but the glass, you're right, that I can access once a year, as long as there's more than 2,000 Rand or efficient wine in the glass.
I've never seen a two-pot example like that, but I'm so happy it happened on this channel. All right, let's move on to palate. Apple, pear, ginger, almond. This is a party in a glass.
This is extremely good. I wasn't expecting it to be this good, but this is really good.
I had to get you the good stuff for two-pot.
Since it's two pots, I'm going to have 2 sips if it's okay with you.
We might have 2 bottles, but I'd give this a 9 out of 10.
I'm going to go all out. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
Wow. Oh.
It's really that good. This is fantastic.
All right, Tiaan, we're going to kick it up a notch. I'm going to teach you how to sabrage.
You sure?
So for our audience, sabrage is the art of opening a bottle of bubbles using a saber or a knife. Now, this is an incredible way to start a party, but if done incorrectly, it could be incredibly dangerous. Statistically, 1 out of 10,000 bottles have the potential of exploding. So let's cross our fingers. Step 1, ice cold bottle, colder than your ex's heart. Then you find the seam that runs along the top of the bottle. Now remember, you're not chopping off the top of the bottle. You're using the pressure in the bottle and exploiting a weak point on the glass. So take the back off your knife, and when I say 3, we're going to roll it up along the seam. So 1, 2, 3, and that's how you sabrage. Ooh, still got all my fingers. So Tiaan, like sabrage, two-pot's really exciting. The potential to draw capital every year has got everybody talking. Now, but with sabrage, if done incorrectly, it could be incredibly catastrophic. Could you talk to our audience about what to consider before utilizing or whether utilizing two-pot?
So I think the one word that we don't talk about enough with the two-pot system is the word liquidity, which basically means in retirement, how much access will I have to liquid capital? Can I open up the tap to get some money out if I need for emergencies, for vehicle goals, for travel, basically any unplanned emergencies? Now, the big thing about thinking of whether I should access some of the money, whether it's the first 30,000 plus growth, whether it's 1/3 or whatever it's in the savings pot that I can take out 1/3 of my contributions after 1 September, I think it's always good to look at the liquidity in your financial plan, look at the long-term implication, and sit with your financial planner that can use state-of-the-art financial planning software like we have at Old Mutual Wealth called the Wealth Integrator. Because one trade-off we always see a lot of financial planners modeling in retirement is how much should I take as a lump sum to make sure I have sufficient liquidity in retirement. So the big thing for me with two-pot is make sure you have sufficient liquidity and only access that money and actually incur the tax implication if it really is necessary.
Now, yeah, I don't like sharing my glass with anyone, so I'm not going to share with the tax man.
Absolutely. And yeah, I think to that point is, you're paying anywhere from, call it 0 or maybe 18 to 45% now. If you leave it till retirement, you've got 550,000 tax-free that you get to benefit from as opposed to taking it now. So utilize the tax benefits at retirement, not now, if you don't need to.
So closing out with final scores is an incredible 20 out of 20 for Tiaan and 19 out of 20 for me for the Krone Night Nectar. Tiaan, it was a pleasure hosting you. For more information, please check out Tiaan's videos and TikToks. I'd like to thank our director, Sunny Ho, and to our audience, I hope you enjoyed learning about two-pot. Please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget, nothing pays better than Corks and Capital. Cheers.
This is fantastic.